Aiden Calloway clutched the old brass doorknob. The Calloway Manor loomed over him, a silhouette against the dusky sky. He'd arrived in Ravenshire only an hour ago. The town was small and quiet, nestled amidst rolling hills. Aiden's heart pounded with a mixture of dread and curiosity as he stepped into his new home. The air inside was heavy with the scent of dust and time. Shadows danced in every corner. It felt like stepping into another era, one filled with secrets waiting to be discovered. Uncle Edgar stood by the grand fireplace, his face etched with a sadness Aiden couldn't quite comprehend. "It's good to have you here, Aiden," his uncle said, his voice low and gravelly, but his eyes held a flicker of something else. Was it fear? Aiden couldn't be sure. Dinner was a somber affair. Aiden learned little about his family or the town's history. His uncle seemed reluctant to speak of the past. After dinner, Aiden retreated to his room, a cavernous chamber at the end of the hallway. He unpacked his meager belongings, each item a reminder of a life left behind. The only sound in the house was the ticking of an ancient grandfather clock in the hall. Aiden felt a chill run down his spine. He was not alone in this house. He could feel it. The next morning, Aiden ventured into town. Ravenshire was quaint, like something out of a storybook. The townsfolk, however, were a different story. Their smiles seemed strained, their greetings laced with a strange mix of curiosity and apprehension. At the local library, Aiden hoped to find some information about his family and the Calloway Manor. The librarian, a frail woman with spectacles perched precariously on her nose, gave him a wary look. "The Calloways," she muttered, her voice barely a whisper. "There are stories, you know, dark stories." Aiden tried to press for more information, but the librarian clammed up, her gaze darting nervously towards the door. That night, sleep evaded Aiden. As he lay in bed, he could have sworn he heard whispers coming from the walls, whispers that seemed to speak his name. He tossed and turned, his mind racing with questions. What had happened to his family? What secrets did this house hold? And what was it about Ravenshire that made everyone so uneasy? Days turned into weeks, each one filled with strange occurrences. Books would fly off shelves, objects would move on their own, and the whispers grew stronger, more insistent. One afternoon, while exploring the manor's dusty attic, Aiden stumbled upon a hidden compartment. Inside he found a small, leather-bound journal. The journal belonged to his great-grandfather, Elias Calloway. As Aiden read through the faded entries, a sense of dread washed over him. Elias wrote of an ancient relic, the Echo Stone, capable of amplifying psychic energies. He believed it was hidden somewhere within the manor. He also wrote of Malagar, a dark sorcerer who sought the stone for his own evil purposes. According to the journal, Malagar had been defeated centuries ago, but Aiden couldn't shake the feeling that the sorcerer's story wasn't over. Aiden realized that the whispers he'd been hearing were not in his head. They were real. They were coming from the stone, and they were warnings. Section 4. The Forbidden Wing. Aiden confided in Lillian, a girl his age who he befriended in town. Lillian, with her quick wit and adventurous spirit, was the only one who believed Aiden's stories about the manor. Together they decided to find the Echo Stone before Malagar could get his hands on it. Their search led them to the west wing of the manor, an area that had been sealed off for years. A heavy iron-wrought gate blocked their path. The gate was adorned with strange symbols that Aiden recognized from his great-grandfather's journal. With Lillian's help, Aiden managed to unlock the gate. The air in the west wing was thick with a palpable sense of dread. As they cautiously made their way down a long, cobwebbed corridor, the whispers intensified, swirling around them like a malevolent wind. Aiden knew they were getting close. At the end of the corridor, they found a hidden chamber, and there, resting on a pedestal in the center of the room, was the Echo Stone. It pulsed with an eerie internal light, its whispers echoing throughout the chamber. Section 5. The Shadow Descends. As Aiden reached out to touch the stone, a cold, raspy voice echoed through the chamber. So the heir of Calloway returns. A figure materialized from the shadows, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Malagar. He had returned. Malagar explained that he had been trapped for centuries, his essence bound to the stone. He needed Aiden to activate the stone, to unleash his full power. Aiden refused. A fierce battle ensued. Malagar, his powers amplified by the stone, was a formidable opponent. Aiden and Lillian fought bravely, but they were no match for Malagar's dark magic. Just when all hope seemed lost, Aiden remembered something from his great-grandfather's journal. The Echo Stone amplified all psychic energies, both good and bad. Aiden focused his will, pouring all his love for his friends, his family, and the town of Ravenshire into the stone. The chamber was bathed in blinding light. When the light subsided, Malagar was gone, vanquished once more. Section 6. A New Dawn. The following days were a blur of activity as Aiden, with Lillian by his side, worked to secure the Echo Stone. They found a hidden inscription in Elias's journal, revealing a way to bind the stone's power. The whispers ceased, replaced by a comforting silence. The air in Ravenshire felt lighter, the shadows less menacing. The townsfolk, their fear replaced with gratitude, finally shared the stories of the Calloways and the legend of Malagar. Aiden realized that his journey had just begun. He was the protector of the Echo Stone, the guardian of Ravenshire's legacy. As Aiden gazed out at the horizon, he couldn't shake the feeling that there were more secrets to uncover, more adventures to be had. For now, though, he was content to enjoy the peace. He was home.